Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Youth Show. So tonight, you're going to show us what fabulous projects you have. So I would like to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Sue Fink. I'm the Manager of Financial and Administrative Services in the Community Development Department. This lovely lady just walking in front of me is my assistant, Kate King, and then we're also here with our new administrative assistant, Victor Perez. So that's our staff, and you all met Marisol when you signed in this morning, project officer extraordinaire. She'll be your best friend if you get funded for your contract for next year. So how the process will work tonight is you will go in order of which we received your application. You will have 3 minutes, which will be timed. When your 3 minutes is up, you will hear the bell. We have a sample bell. When the bell rings, please stop speaking. And then our advisory board will have the option to ask you questions. They may ask you questions, they may not ask you questions. Don't read too much into either of those options. Sometimes your application was so full of information that you answered all their questions in advance, and sometimes they just need a little more clarification. I'd like to introduce the members of our advisory board that are here with us tonight. So on the far end, we have Laurie Mendoza, then we have Marta Rentas, and Becky Janney. Our two state reps, Frank Moran and Marcos Devers, are tied up in Boston doing their state rep work, so they unfortunately cannot be with us tonight. Former state rep Juana Matias is tied up in traffic, and we should be joined shortly by Councilor Estela Reyes and Elizabeth Labasta, our other CDAP member. So let's get this show going. So our first application is from the Lawrence Family Development and Education Fund. It's the Quintana Center Adult ESOL and Citizenship Program.
Good evening. My name is Zulma Liriano, and I am manager at the Quintana Family Center, which operates under the umbrella of Lawrence Family Development. The services we provide are ESL classes and citizenship preparation classes, as well as we offer services in completing the N400, which is the application for citizenship, and the I-90, which is the renewal of the green card. As part of our classes that we offer to our students, they have the option to sign up for resume building / updating. We offer workshops in Know Your Rights through the Office of the Attorney General. And we also offer financial literacy. And typically, throughout the year, we register between 350 and 400 students. And our population is composed of mainly Latinos. We have had some Asians and Middle Eastern students as well. I brought today one of our students who would like to address the panel.
Good evening. My name is Ana Costa. I'm from the Dominican Republic. I have been living in the United States for almost 2 years. This is my fourth semester studying ESL at the Quintana Center. The main reason that I came to this center was to improve my knowledge of ESL. It has been a great experience because I feel I'm carrying the outcome that I'm looking for. I would like to express my gratitude to the Quintana Center and SUMA for improve my future and the future of the other immigrants like me. Thank you to my teacher, Ms. Rose Ragare, for her encouragement with all students, and thanks to you for your support of the program. Thank you very much.
I'd also like you to know that we, in September of last year, became BIA accredited so that we are able to offer the immigration services.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? We're going to have to share the mic up here.
I want to ask you a question for the new student. I want to ask you one question. Do you guys explain more about the program? You say how you feel, what you learn, but tell me more. want to hear more about the program.
Okay, this program help us, when I say us, I refer to the all students, help us to improve our communication skills. I remember when I came to this center, I was unable to keep a conversation with someone else. And today I can do it, and I'm very proud of my progress. I'm very proud of the process that happened in the center with the program.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, thank you. Can you speak a little bit more about the accreditation that you received and how that distinguishes you from other ESL programs?
Yes, so to be BIA accredited and certified, it's a two-pronged process where the organization has to have an accredited representative in order for the organization to be certified. When I came on board, the previous manager was accredited, so as part of one of my priorities was to become accredited. At first I couldn't, even though I took the training, because I did not have experience. But in June of last year, I was able to go to Texas to take the training again, and because I had been working with an attorney from Northeast Justice Center for the previous 2 years, when we applied again, and I showed my certificate and the experience that I had gained with the attorney, we were able to get the accreditation and certification.
Another question that I had was you mentioned that you work with or offer financial literacy
Yes.
programming. And who do you partner with for those types of programming? Or is that something you do
ORI, the
in-house?
Office of Refugees and Immigrants from Boston. It's a state agency, and we do the recruitment, and then they look for the volunteers, banking volunteers, to come and do the workshops at our center.
Okay. Is that like a grant you work on together, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We do the recruitment for them. They pay the stipends. To the participants. They find the volunteers to come teach the workshops, and it works out great.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You know.
Okay, I think we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, our next applicant is also from Lawrence Family Development. It's the CSU Workforce Development Program.
Thank you. So we're here tonight because we believe that pro-social youth programs are essential to community development. And Lawrence Prospera has supported that for the last 25 years. We began doing this with the Youth Build program back in 1993. And since that time, we've constructed 10 affordable housing units in the city of Lawrence. In 2014, we took over the SSYI program, the Safe and Secure Youth Initiative, which then allowed us to work with the highest risk population in the city, youth-wise. And they actually helped us to construct the next part of our phase, which was the CSU Center, which we opened up in 2017, and that's where we are now. And in the CSU Center, our goal is to make a one-stop shop where we have a youth comes in, they can get vocational training, construction training, but at the same time they're going to get workforce development, social emotional growth, career exploration, mental health services, adulting classes, anything that they need to succeed in the workforce, because obviously when they come into our program they have a lot of baggage when it comes to that stuff. So we try to help them along that path. So more specifically, the dollars from this funding would actually go towards our construction program. And on Monday, we're actually going to be launching a new social enterprise out of our CSU wood shop, which is going to help us generate a little more of our own income to help support our program further. And in that, the social enterprise program is going to look like an entrepreneur program where they come in, the kids are involved in the creation, the design of products, the production, the modifications. We're going to have like a customization component where we have an art program there where they can then, we can take orders from folks and they can say, hey, we'd like to, you made us a nice cabinet. We'd also like you to put the, this artwork on that. We can do that. So they're also going to be involved in the delivery, the warehousing, and hopefully someday the accounting. We're not there yet, but we'll go from there. And so, yeah, and our referrals are coming from several different places. We get them from the Lawrence Police Department. We get them from the probation office, DYS, DCF. We have walk-ins. A lot of kids in the community, they know of our program, so they come in, they hear of our services, they want to be a part of it. And also a lot of friends and families of the youth that are currently enrolled in our programming, they also bring in some of their extended social networks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you ever get ones that know absolutely nothing about any of this, but they have an interest in it, and how does it work out for them?
All the time, yes. Yeah, they come in, basically when they come into the program, they're not thinking to themselves, I'm going to learn, with the exception of, let's say, the Youth Build program. We have a lot of different programs, but most of the time they walk in the door and they're like, hey, somebody I know there said that you guys really help out the youth in this community. I want to change my life. I want to get out of the things that I'm doing and come in here, and then we will then match them with the proper vocational track. It doesn't have to be construction. Construction is kind of the meat and potatoes of what we do down there, but for the most part, we have several different options that we can offer them.
Okay, and I heard you mention about cabinets, so actually it isn't just basic construction, they're actually doing the fine points of the interior of the buildings as well.
No, we do anything from, so our Youth Build program traditionally we will take a plot of land that is literally green grass and turn it into a house. And then we will take that house and we will sell it as affordable housing. So that's one thing. The next thing is the center that we're in right now, our youth, a lot of our youth, worked on that building to help, we like to say they built it from the ground up, and they responded very well to that because they were invested in it. And so that's another thing. But we also have a wood shop program where they can go in and they can build things like cabinets. And then, like I said, the next step is to now, teach them how to do something like that and then turn it into income, which will support our program even further. So.
Thank you. I've watched your house on Jackson Street.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, it looks very nice.
It does. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like I'm getting my steps in tonight.
My question is, how many youth do you currently have enrolled?
Enrolled is, we have well over 100 youth enrolled.
I mean, not for the total CSU, but for the carpentry.
Oh, for the carpentry program? Right now, depending, the numbers fluctuate, but we're looking at about 30 kids, let's just say. And that number will change throughout the course of the year, so they our goal is to get them in, teach them some skills, and then get them out into the workforce.
And the construction program is just for the summertime?
Oh, no, this is year-round.
It'll be year-round?
Yep.
The 30 students year-round?
Yep.
Okay. And then, no?
I'm sorry.
I thought you were saying something.
No. That might have been my stomach rumbling.
And then, what types of work or businesses do you partner with, so that once the students are leaving your organization, you're getting them ready to go into the workforce?
Okay,
so what does that look like, and is the city involved with some of that too?
Yes. So we have a number of different options. Again, we're not 100% where we want to be, but as we move forward, we have definitely made some good connections. And one of them, for example, would be with the laborers union. We sent a couple of our youth to Skills Build, which was like a 6-week training program. And they had been, part of our construction program. They got very interested. They wanted to learn more about the construction trades. They send them down there. It was, sending them down there was, you just don't know what's going to happen because of their past and stuff like that. But we felt confident that we worked with them enough, and to all of our pleasant surprise, they both graduated, and now they're both accepted into Labor's Union number 22, and they have a job fair coming up where they're actually going to get assigned positions here. I believe it's in March 6th. So that's one possible option. We have different, like we have a young man right now who's working at Ace Hardware. He wanted to do that, and but yes. So.
Thank you. And then lastly, you talk about a 3-tier system in your application, and I'm just wondering, like, what does that entail?
So the tiers, when they come in, there's certain things they have to do to get. On tier 1, when they come in, we need to show that they are willing and able to participate in the programming that isn't directly related to, let's say, the vocational stuff. Okay, because we can teach them how to put a hammer and nail into a board and build a whatever. But if they don't know how to deal with people and they don't know how to be adults, then that's not going to help them at all. So we want to funnel them through that. So these tier systems are designed for them to not only hit bigger ideas type situations, but also smaller things like you need to get your driving permit or your driver's license. You need to know where your social security card is. You need to know you need to have these types of things. You need to know how to fill out an application to adjust. You need to know how to call somebody in the proper way and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can I come down? And so yes. Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
As I make my way across the stage, I neglected to remind you all to please put your cell phones on silent for this evening. Our next applicant is the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence.
Hi, my name is Andrea Nahikian. I'm the Director of Development at the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence, and we are here to request funding for our Planning for the Future program. We currently serve over 560 teens at the club. 75 are active members that participate in this program. It's a comprehensive approach so that our teens are able to succeed with their future careers and their life goals. In May, we host a job fair, so that way over 200 of our teens are able to speak to over 40 professionals about their careers, understand what they do, see new opportunities, and understand the way to get there. Throughout the school year, we provide job readiness courses, including trades programming and financial literacy classes. However, for a majority of our teens, we find that their goal is to graduate from high school and go on to college. Starting in September, we work with our teens weekly throughout the school year on applying for college. We create a seamless roadmap for our teens to understand their options and see that college is an opportunity and possibility. I would like to introduce Ronald Luciano, who is a senior currently at the Boys and Girls Club, and he's going to tell you about his experience and successes in this program.
Hello everyone, my name is Ron Luciano, and I'm currently a senior at Greater Lawrence Technical High School. When I was 7, I started attending the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence because of the opportunities that it offered in the computer lab and in the technology field. I've been coming to the club every day since. Most recently, the club has provided me with resources to apply to college. I've always dreamed of going to college, but being the first in my family to apply, it was a confusing and nerve-wracking process. We were unfamiliar with the steps on how to make it happen, and the Boys and Girls Club helped me through all of this. In October, the club hosted a college fair with over 20 colleges and universities for us to explore some of our options. This made me feel comfortable and excited to be able to see my life after high school. From there, I started attending Think Ahead Thursdays. This is a program offered from Thursday to high school members at the club with a focus on applying to college. Everything you need from SAT prep, applications, financial aid, and campus tours. With the help of the club, I was provided with SAT tutoring that I would not have received otherwise. I saw my SAT scores increase as I continued to participate in these classes, and I felt like I was one step closer to my dream. From there, the club helped me through the FAFSA process, My dad even came to FAFSA Family Night, where all of our families could learn about the financial responsibilities of college and what our options are. They walked us through the forms, and it made me feel less overwhelmed, especially because no one in my family has done this before. The college application was as equally challenging with all the essays and requirements. The club worked with me every Thursday on my common application and communicating with my guidance counselor on transcripts.
That's okay. He has one fun line. He got into 10 out of 12 colleges he's applied to so far.
Panel, do we have any questions?
Hi. My question is for the student. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Ronald Luciano.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience in terms of the support you received through this program, in terms of being more individualized for you, as opposed to the support you might have gotten in your school that works with students that are graduating?
Yeah, so my guidance counselor has lots of students to work with, so working individually with each student is hard for them. So the Boys and Girls Club helped me individually, stuff like working on my resume, and with that I was able to get my job, which I currently have, working at my school, as well as helping me really with my college essays, and furthermore on my FAFSA government files, and they've helped me organize all that.
And once the students go on to college, FAFSA has to be filled out every year. So are they able to come back, even though they've moved on, to reapply for the FAFSA through support with you?
Yes, absolutely. So our staffing is amazing, and they become family for a lot of our teens. But actually starting this year, we are creating a mentorship program. So that way we have mentors that are following up with our college teens to remind them of the guidelines, to go over all of the information they need at college. So that way when they go to college, they're not feeling alone, and that they are succeeding and they are graduating from college. We do know that financial deadlines is, a little scary, and if you miss one, you feel like you can't do it anymore. So by having these mentors reaching out to our alumni and making sure that they're on top of the deadlines and knowing the resources the club will still provide to them, we're hoping to continue to see that growth. But that is a new program we're starting this summer.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next applicant is the Lawrence Adult Learning Center.
Good evening. My name is Jim White. I'm the director of the Lawrence Adult Learning Center, and I'm with Jocelyn Marte, one of our advisors, and Brenda Garcia, a student who you'll hear from in a moment. Currently, we're serving over 530 students this school year in our morning, afternoon, and evening program. We're offering our high school equivalency programs both in English and Spanish. We offer 5 levels of ESOL with a citizenship focus. We're in a partnership with the Lawrence Working Families Initiative, and we're in partnership with them developing para-educators or paraprofessionals to help in classrooms. In addition to that, we've got a distance learning program to assist with out-of-school youth who might struggle with coming to school, as well as a college preparation class. Tonight we're here applying for funding to continue our Spanish high school equivalency program that we offer in the evening. This is, I believe, our 5th year providing this program. We're one of only 4 statewide programs offering a high school equivalency in Spanish. Many of our students that might come at an older age and really need to sort of gain employment might need to earn their high school equivalency in Spanish. At the same time, we're also offering ESOL support for them to further develop their English classes so that they can continue to be bilingual and really sort of access improved employment. In addition, we're also looking this year to sort of improve our citizenship focus. To date, we have 16 students that have earned their U.S. citizenship and have become citizens this year. And we're hoping to really be able to continue that program, solidify it, and really make it stronger. So with no more from me, I'm going to turn it over to Jocelyn Marte, and she's one of our longtime, hardworking advisors. Thank you.
Good evening. I don't want to say much. I think Jim did a very good job of telling you guys what we do. I would like to introduce Brenda Garcia, who's been a student in our program, benefiting from 3 programs: Spanish, HSC, citizenship, and now the paraeducator. So.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brenda Garcia, like they said. I am from Guatemala, and I take advantage from programs that ICARS. I take, first I take the high set classes, and I graduate last June. And I take 2 citizenship, and I became citizen this year. And now I take in the Parapro program.
Thank you. Congratulations on your citizenship.
Good evening. May I know how many levels do you have for learning over there? Level 1, level 2?
We have 5. 5, yes. And we've doubled up on many of our classes, so we're actually offering 2 classes for each level based on our student demand.
I just wanted to know if you could elaborate a little bit more on your paraprofessional partnership program that you have. Sounds interesting.
Yes, so we're in our 2nd year. Currently, we started this year with 19 students, and we still have 19 students who are in their 2nd half of the year. Brenda is one of them, and she is exceptional and amazing on so many different levels because she is just so motivated. In addition to her going to school during the day, she's also taking classes at Northern Essex to also improve her reading and writing in ESL. So she's just amazing. Our paraeducator program is sort of a really intensive program that starts in September. Students are essentially going to classes for about 5.5 hours every day, 5 days a week. And then we are preparing them to pass a very rigorous test that's offered by the ETS, one of the large testing service agencies. And right now, out of our 19, we have 12 students that have passed, and we're continuing to work with those other students to prepare them for that. Initially, we were thinking this was going to be a ESOL class, kind of prepping students, but it's really a very rigorous, very demanding test that's really offered in English. And so it's really testing people's reading, writing, and math skills in English, not in Spanish. So it's pretty intensive. The 2nd half of the year, the students are taking a college class with Northern Essex. They're also receiving soft skills, financial literacy coaching through LWFI, as well as LCW, Lawrence Community Works. And now, as I said earlier, they are doing a 3-day paid internship in schools in the Lawrence area.
I've seen a similar program in Rhode Island that does it's children and friends, and they do like a parent program where they're training them to be not specifically paras, but some of the levels of that.
Yeah. And from last year, we had 17 graduates, and 16 of them are already working in the Lawrence Public Schools.
Great.
Good evening. Even though she took my question, thank you for answering, but I do have a question. The citizenship classes you offer, is it supplemented of the English class, or how does that work if someone wants to become a citizen?
So the citizenship prep excuse me, really requires a high level of English. So it's in addition, but it is very much still an ESOL course because it's the English that's going to really unlock the lock for people. again, we could kind of lower it and say, a level 2 student can access it, but they will struggle. So we're really trying to increase it so that we're not setting people up for failure. We're also sort of coaching and really working with our students and really kind of getting feedback after the interview. And what we're realizing is that if they walk in and the examiner knows maybe that their English is not strong, they will immediately start to kind of question them and even reword questions that ordinarily wouldn't be done. So we're trying to really prepare our students, and like I said, this year we have 16 to date, with probably about another 16 in queue, hopefully in the next probably about the next 2 months that will pass. So it is, again, a higher level ESOL. If anything, it's probably that 4, 5, and 6 level.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next applicant is the Merrimack Valley YMCA Music Clubhouse. So you all used to coming and sitting, listening to people talk. Now you're going to be entertained. So I'm going to take some executive privilege, and we're not going to time the performances because I think you're really going to enjoy them.
Cool, thank you. I still think we're going to come up just at 3, so could be prepared. But hi, you guys may know, but the Music Clubhouse is a free after-school program at the Y. It's a music-based program. And so I'd like to just let kind of the work that we're doing do the talking. So briefly, I'm going to play you a recording. This is a clip with a few short selections from some of the stuff that we're working on in the studio. We've got a lot of great entirely original music coming out of the Clubhouse, some really promising young artists. So figured I would let you guys hear some of that before you hear it on the radio. And then we're going to play a song. Cool. So thank you.
Baby, it's been a while now, but I'm on the road to love.
really a question, just a very good cover of that song.
Thank you.
Can any of the participants tell us their ages, please?
I'm 17. I just turned 17. I'm just 15.
Happy birthday! What's her age? I'm sorry.
15. 15 is it?
And what school do you go to?
Notre Dame, Christopher.
All of you go to Notre Dame?
No, I go to Lawrence High School.
To the Lawrence High?
Yep.
And then he's actually, I don't know if they mentioned in our application, we have like a youth leader program. So Anderson here came through the program and is now working in the program as he continues studies. He's a freshman in college at New England. So he's kind of making that transition from student to staff.
So one of my questions is, the Lawrence Music Clubhouse, are you an entity of the YMCA or are you totally separate?
No, we're a program within the YMCA, so our program is housed within the YMCA, and actually participants, when they join the Music Clubhouse, which is free, they actually also get a free membership to the YMCA, so they get to have access to some of the other programs that are going on there, and the gym and the pool and some of those other.
So it's a Y program?
It is a Y program, yeah.
And then you said if they're a member, they can go for free, and if they're not a member, do they have to pay a member?
No, so actually, it's the Music Clubhouse program is free, and when they join the Music Clubhouse, they additionally get a free membership to the Y. Yeah, so it's a pretty sweet deal, actually. Yeah.
And how many students do you have currently or participants?
It's a lot. We have a lot. Sort of, I would say, on average, we have about 15 to 20 per day. It runs as a drop-in center, which is a little different from how it's run in the past. So we, instead of having like a day set aside for like guitar or for recording, it's like everything is available every day. And so we have some kids that come every single day. We have some kids that come once a week at their set time and everywhere in between. But on average, it's about 15 to 20 kids per day, with a total right now of probably about 80 kids who are coming and going at whatever their pleasure. Yeah.
Do you ever partner with local organizations that could come in and bring in their kids weekly?
We actually just recently had some. Yes, we've in the past had partnerships with Bellasini Academy, which is something we're working on rekindling. We've also had some students from Korea and Vietnam who were studying here, and their organization reached out and we connected. So they came and visited and we made some music together with them. And we're also have had partnerships in the past with Altair and their open mic series. And we also are beginning our open mic series again in March. So we have a lot of things going on. Also, we have some creative collaborations going on with some of the other music clubhouses that are in the area and other music organizations that I've taught at in the past. We're trying to kind of close the network and get everybody working together. So yeah, we have a lot of lines out.
And then I have a question about funding, which I don't know if you're...
I'll do the best I can, yeah.
I'm just wondering, who are some of your funders?
I have a sheet in my office that would tell me these answers, and I think it changes somewhat year to year. I know in the past there's Ernie Bach, the car dealership, does a pretty good, it's a grant we've received I think several times. I don't know if we received it this past year. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not the best person to speak on that. I'm just running the music side of things.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Thank you. Our next applicant is ACT Lawrence.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natalie Laura, the program manager at ACT Lawrence / youth coordinator / any other title that needs to be put on me. This is my supervisor, Anna Luna. She's executive director. And we are here today applying for funds for our youth jobs and leadership program, which is a summer youth program that provides jobs and leadership skills to Lawrence youth ages 14 to 22 years old. We provide a structured approach to workshop, training, and building skills for 6 weeks long during the summer. The group works for about 15 hours a week and receives a program stipend upon completion of the program. The stipends represent an incentive of their commitment and successful completion of the program. The stipends can range from $500 to $12.75 hourly, depending on the group that the youth is placed. This enables the participants to practice their new skills that they just learned in money management and budgeting. The program also provides workshops in resume building, interview skills, email, telephone protocol, community organizing, outreach, and they also get to implement their skills that they learn in the neighborhood with projects. Thank you to the City of Lawrence for always supporting the youth. With the support that we received last year, we accomplished many different things, such as we completed an outreach throughout the City of Lawrence. We reached over 1,500 people via social media. We received a total of 94 applications for our program, presented this program in different community meetings and schools, graduated a total of 25 youth in 2019, implemented new neighborhood projects which were national night out, where more than 200 people attended, and the Arlington Game Club, where we try to educate kids ages 3 to 10 about math through the use of games. All of the participants that were in the summer program increased their education, where 65% of them opened their first bank account. And we completed many workshops, such as the Lawrence Heritage State Park. The participants visited the State House. We did a public safety workshop with the Lawrence Police Department, Banking 101, financial aid provided by the NECC, public speaking, money management, fundraising, and community organizing.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you again, but also I wanted to highlight that Natalie started with our organization as one of the youth leaders back in 2015, and here she is now, 2013? Oh boy, that's even longer than I thought. And then she got hired as a staff member, and recently she has been promoted to program manager.
Does anybody have any questions on the panel?
Good evening. Hi. I heard 94 applicants. So you have now, so if that number change?
It does, oh, sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, if that number changed, like last year, give me a number that you had last year. What is the number that you have this year?
I believe last year was around 60, so it changes every year because every year we do better at letting people know about the program. So what we're trying to do now is getting more partnerships and letting guidance counselors, school know about the programs so that more youth can actually get access to the program. But it changes every year.
So how do you do it in sense of capacity? If you're being funded for 94 and let's say you get 110, how do you do with that? Or you have a limited space?
Right, so what happens is we get 94 applications from all the youth who want to work during the summer program, but then we have to bring it down to about 30, which is the range that we can serve with the funding we receive. So we don't hire the 94 that apply, we have to cut it down to about a third of the applicants.
So how do you do that process? Like
interview process, we do 3 different sessions. They come in, they answer questions. We do all different things to make sure that they participate, and then through the process, by July 1st, they know if they are accepted.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Hi. I just wanted to ask about your financial literacy piece that you do with them. Is there like any type of saving incentive for the students that you work to help match what they save to get them incentivized?
That is definitely one of our goals. However, the partner that we have provides them some funding once they open the account and maintain the account open. We have a banking partner who comes in, and the minute they open their account, they get a $25 match. If they keep it on the account for another month, they get another match of $25.
Or they refer someone.
Or if they refer another one of their friends. And what's the ending match? Another $25?
I believe as a whole, they get like $75 as a match if they open the account, if they refer someone else. And the more you refer, the more you get.
Right.
So as of now, that bank comes in, they do the financial literacy piece, they teach the kids how to manage their first bank account, and then if they open the account, then they get the incentive.
Just a quick question. I know there are approximately 30 youth that are kind of selected for the program. Is there an age range? And additionally, have you been able to tell if they're coming from certain portions of the city more so than others, certain schools more so than others? Is there any strategy behind that?
We ask anybody from Lawrence to apply, ages 14 to 22 years old. The majority of the youth are coming from Lawrence High School, but we get kids from all the schools actually. We even get kids from Central High. So it's all over, but the majority are Lawrence High School kids.
Yeah, and the more we get like 14 to 17 years old.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is the community group.
Hi, I'm Rosalie Mojica. I'm the Director of Enrichment Programs for the Community Group. This is Emily. She also works with me at the Community Group. We are requesting consideration for a grant to support enrichment programming at the Frost Elementary School for the upcoming 2021 school year. As all of you guys know, access to after-school programming is critical for low-income students, both as a social justice issue and a workforce development issue for the Lawrence community. Parents of children participating in enrichment program are typically working during after-school and summer hours. Enrichment programming supports students' academic and social-emotional growth, while ensuring low and moderate income households maintain access to the workforce. Our program specifically focus on developing SEL outcomes, specifically self-regulation, perseverance, and relationships with peers. Over the last 2 years, our enrollment has grown from 60 to 117 students in grades K through 6. We offer enrichment programming 36 weeks out of the year, and we have 3 10-week sessions during the school year. And then we provide a 6-week summer program full-time for students. Children participate in daily enrichment activities, and those are headed by school day teachers, support staff, and partner organizations. And we maintain a ratio of 13:1 during the school year and 10:1 during the summer program, which allows us to stay in compliance with EEC regulations, but also it gives us a smaller group for each of the teachers to work with, and that gives more focus on the students and what they really like to do, and we're able to support their needs a little bit better that way. Students have the choice of participating in specific activities. They're not just told which enrichment activities that they're like a good fit for. We try to really encourage them to choose what they like to do. We also provide homework support. And specifically at the Frost, our enrichment program serves as homework support for most of the newcomers that come into the school. The principal specifically recommends those for the program. We have some community-based enrichment partners, such as UMass Extension with the Kids in the Kitchen program, Windrush Farms, Merrimack College, Merrimack Volley, Sueños Basketball, and the Greater Lawrence Boating Program, just to name a few. Funding will allow us to continue to leverage state and private funds to support the children attending the Frost Enrichment Program. We target the most vulnerable populations in the school. We do this through a targeted enrollment process. So we work with the principals, teachers, and school staff to identify and recruit students that
Thank you.
Questions, panel?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here tonight. I would like to know which one of your activities has been your favorite thus far this year with the students?
I would say we have a new partnership. We have a karate instructor coming in, and that has been one of the programs that the students have really enjoyed the most. It hasn't been something that was offered for the last couple of years, so they are really excited about it. So I would say that's probably my favorite right now.
And what are your future plans as far as expanding? Do you plan on servicing more than 170 students, you said?
117.
117.
So after 3 years, we lose some of our state funding through the 21st Century Program. So we're hoping that this additional funding will help us avoid having to cut down on the number of students we're serving now.
So I just am looking for a little bit more clarification as to, so your program or organization is a community daycare Inc., but you work within the Frost School?
Yep, so we have programs in several Lawrence Public Schools, but this program specifically is working with students at Frost Elementary School. So we are outside agency. We have a full-time director who works out of the Frost building. So he has a great relationship with the school day staff and the principal, and of course the agency, and he kind of bridges that gap between both of us. But an outside agency manages the program, which makes it a little bit easier on the school because they have a million other things to focus on. We're able to come in and strictly focus on enrichment programming.
Thank you for being here again. Quick question, I see in your ad that you guys are using data points identified by DESE. So you're saying here economically disadvantaged 60%, English language learners 26%, and students with disabilities 14%. Are those the numbers that you're actually serving
So
in the Frost School, or are those the figures that you try to target through the program?
So at the Frost program right now, we are either meeting or exceeding those percentages in the program. So we use the school-wide percentages as our target to base our enrollment off of, but in most, I believe we're exceeding the economically disadvantaged category as well as the English language learners right now, and we are meeting our special education population target as well.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Our next presenter is Groundwork Lawrence Urban Adventures.
Thank you very much. Hello and good evening. My name is Matt Morin. I'm the Education Program Manager at Groundwork Lawrence. I have the great pleasure of overseeing both our programs that are here tonight. In a moment you'll hear from Yvette of the Green Team, but for Urban Adventures is our free summer youth program designed to provide about 200 elementary and middle school Lawrence youth with a fun-filled summer experience in the heart of the city. We will deliver the program using a hands-on approach, engaging the youth in service learning programs, they'll learn more about diet-related disease, environmental stewardship, and sustainability. All of our programs focus on social emotional learning to build the individual in our communities. We plan to hire 3 junior counselors, 3 counselors to work with our program coordinator to run the 5-week program. With the continued support of the Community Development Block Grant, Groundwork Lawrence and the Urban Adventure Program will be able to provide employment for 6 young adults with competitive wages and professional development opportunities so they can support and deliver this program. This year we're excited to be working with partners, the Lawrence Boys and Girls Club, Esperanza Academy, and Youth Development Organization to deliver this program this summer. Our goal is to serve a minimum of 15 youth at each site, as well as a drop-in program at the Boys and Girls Club to serve an additional 150. Though there were unexpected setbacks of staff turnover, low enrollment, and site changes last summer, our team was able to overcome these challenges and serve 15 very enthusiastic Lawrence youth. These youth choose to attend the Urban Adventures amongst a wide array of other activities at Boys and Girls Club and grew committed every session. The youth are able to identify health-related problems facing the community using the skills and knowledge they acquired. They went on to complete a service project aimed at providing solutions. That's what I just handed out a few minutes ago. The projects also included an informational video that's hosted on our website, the benefits of a healthy diet, and a healthy eating newsletter, and a letter that was sent to the mayor. Those are all youth designed. What's different this year is we've expanded our partners, coordinated our efforts to develop recruitment and design a bit more of accountability. I think we're poised for greatness this year. That's all I got.
Thank you. Questions? Hi, how are you?
Well, how are
I
you?
would like to know if you could go back and let me know. There were some transitional changes last year.
Yeah.
And that affected the program. How can you clarify that, please?
Sure. So we had a staff person leave unexpectedly. Our recruitment at the center that we were supposed to be delivering at didn't recruit. So we showed up with 2 youth out of the numbers that we were supposed to be getting from them.
And those numbers were again?
We were expecting 45.
At that site in particular?
At that site particularly, yeah. Showed up with 2. George is actually the youngster that created the flyer for the city, the kids of the city, the back 2, I guess, the back 2 pages, and the letter to the mayor. And then we were able to re-partner. We kind of threw it all in and tried to figure out a new solution. And we were able to host it at the Boys and Girls Club. And we got 15 youth to really get involved and bite in.
So are you servicing the whole city, or what areas in particular are you targeting in the city?
So because of our partners, they're located in specific areas. The Boys and Girls Club services, I would say, the whole city.
Area?
Yeah. And the Youth Development Organization, Youth Development and YDO, their group, and we're looking 15 to 20 kids there. And then with the Esperanza Academy, it's the girls that are there.
All right. And finally, what number did that end up being as far as what you projected and how many you did service? So what was your projected number for members last summer?
I wasn't managing the program last summer, so I don't have that number with me.
And what is your goal this year?
Just under 200, so I think it's 195. Thank you.
My question, thank you for being here, is in regards to, are you guys providing these services on site, or are you going to Esperanza Academy, the Lawrence Boys Girls Club, to their site?
We go to their site.
And it's for 5 weeks, the program. How many hours are the youth, we're targeting 195 this year, having access to this program? Is it a 2-hour program in the day? Is it 5, 6 hours? What does that look like?
I believe it's a 4-hour program at their site, and then the drop-in is separate from that. So the drop-in is at the Boys and Girls Club specifically, and we serve up to 150 kids there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, please?
My question is for the source of leverage funds. There's nothing listed on here, so I'm curious as to know. There's numbers, but there's no sources. So I'm curious to know who helps to fund your program.
That's a great question. I don't know.
Maybe follow up.
Yeah, we have. I know we write lots of grants, and we're part of lots of grants. And I know that we've had great success with this program in the past. And all the money that we raise here goes directly to those 6 staff.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the kids say they take it one summer. Do you see repeats? Do they come back, or something that they have a big interest in it?
So because we've bounced around a little bit over the last couple of years, we haven't seen that so much in the last 2 to 3 years, but we do have a history of that and hope to keep that going moving forward. Now this will be our second year at the Boys and Girls Club. We also offer programming during the school year, both during school and after school programs, and we see a lot of youth there, so we're hoping to recruit a lot.
And I had a chance to look at this letter. It's very well written. Congratulations to Jorge. And did he write this as well?
He did not. So we had the two groups, essentially the two kids that were part of our first program at our first site. George was the young man who helped with the letter and the 2 documents in the back. The second group, the 15 kids that we had at the Boys and Girls Club, they created the first page, or the first document.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one other question. I see that your budget's about $87,000. More than half of that is going to staff salaries and counselor salaries. I know you're hiring 6 staff members. Are those people from the community of Lawrence?
Yeah, all of them are.
All of them are. And then upon the completion of the 5 weeks, are these people continue to be employed, or are they no longer employed after the 5-week program is completed?
I'm trying to recall from last year. So I think they stay on for about a week to help wrap the program up. But that's about it. So 3 of them are high school kids, and then 3 of them are usually Lawrence residents. So it's a great summer opportunity for college-age youth.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Groundwork Lawrence. Green Team.
I'll stay close.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yvette Garcia. I am a former Green Team member, Green Team leader, and as of August of this past year, I'm their new program coordinator. So I've worked with Groundwork Lawrence mainly within the Green Team capacity over the past 10 years. And obviously, given my 10-year experience, Groundwork Lawrence's Green Team has had a great impact in my life. As it did open the door for a lot of opportunities for me to engage in my community and learn a lot about the outdoor exposure and environmental awareness that I wasn't aware of before. Our summer Green Team is seeking to expand employment to 40 high school youth for a 7-week summer program around environmental education and stewardship, and also around healthy living initiatives. Students will be working about 24 hours a week for the 7 weeks, and we have 4 cohorts. Our 3 cohorts that we've had in the previous years have included So Green, which basically these youth manage our urban farm, and they harvest and manage the farm, harvest the vegetables, and sell local veggies at our farmers markets. They also donate remaining veggies to local food pantries. We have a So Denrock, which does a lot of trail maintenance and gives local tours to community members and residents. And we also have So Greenway, and this is a group of kids that goes out along the Spicket River Greenway and does a lot of removal of invasive species, and also cleaning along the Greenway. And I have 2 Green Team members with me here who I would love to just have them share a bit about their experience.
Good evening, my name is Griselise Furman. I am currently an 11th grader at Abbott Lawrence Academy, and I'm also a former Green Team member. I became involved with Groundwork Lawrence this past summer, and it became my first formal job. It really provided me with the essential skills that one needs to succeed at the workplace, such as being on time, communicating ahead of time if you're not going to be able to make it to work, how to be part of a team and successfully be able to coordinate when you share differences with others in the team. They also taught me more about how to be more environmentally, how to care more about the environment and community I form part of. And we did this through farmers markets, where I became very connected with members of the community. Also, I was able to translate with the customers that were there. And it also provided me with the opportunity to attend a conference in West Virginia. And there I became more aware of what is called redlining communities. And overall, Groundwork Lawrence has really helped me become, sorry, Christy.
All right.
No, interrupt Christy.
No, wait, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
What is your name again?
Grisalis.
Griseli. And what is your name, young lady?
Christy.
And how many years have you been with the program?
3 years.
3 years. And are you in high school now?
Yeah, I'm a senior in high school.
I wanted to know, as a result of participating in this, thanks for sharing, first of all the experiences, but what have you done in your community as far as, like, do you talk to your family members now regarding what's going on? And how does that make you feel? What impact do you think you're creating as a result of that?
Yeah, I have definitely, like, before Groundwork, I feel like I wasn't as aware about the impacts that we have in the community. And definitely, like, my dad, my mom, and my little brother, they have been, like, part of that experience. Like, just going through the process, and eventually it actually inspired me to going into the environmental science field and become an environmental engineer, which is what I want to do once I get into college. So it's definitely impacting my family, me, and the community. And I also feel like that's something that we need, because especially for the youth in Lawrence, since we're like the next generation and we're going to be the ones having to take care of our environment, and, you know, just looking forward to, like, dealing with climate change and all of that.
And how many, I see here you said that you wanted to expand to 40 summer youth, correct?
Yes.
And how many, how do you distribute them per site? You have 3 sites?
Currently we have 3, we're expanding to 4, and so...
what is the 4th site?
So it's called So Wild, and this specific group is going to be studying and researching wildlife and habitats within the Lawrence community, and they're basically using a service learning model to look at the issues going on, research the wildlife and habitats within Lawrence, and then trying to come up with a community solution around that.
And how many students do you need for that?
So each cohort, each group is 10 youth, so 40. We typically employ 30, but we're expanding this summer, hopefully with funding, to 40 youth and 8 youth leaders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, a similar question to the young ladies. What you're learning here and you practice in your own life, and I know that you mentioned that you are influencing your family. Is any of this influencing your peers as well, do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I go to a technical school in Danvers, so I definitely talk to them a lot about the program, and I know they don't have it in Danvers and a lot of the communities, but like people who live here too, they like they're seeing what I'm doing, and they're also like looking forward. I also have like 2 classmates that are looking forward to like working for Groundwork this summer. So, yeah.
Excellent. And were either of you involved in the removal of the invasive species from the Spigot River?
I think we both were. Yeah, that's definitely a yearly event that happens with Groundwork. So all of the cohorts, they are part of that.
Yeah, and how do you guys manage that? I know it's the Oriental bittersweet's a real problem.
Yeah.
You see it growing all over the highway. What is your technique for dealing with those?
So we typically, we have staff members within Groundwork Lawrence who are equipped and trained to be able to remove those species in the correct way. And so we usually have them tag along with our youth, and we have them show our youth how you remove them, and we do that together. Unfortunately, bittersweet is really intense, so we're constantly going at it with that. Yeah.
I'll give you my address.
And then you can have mine.
Thank you for being here and sharing your stories and experiences. My question is, are the 8 Green Team leaders, the 40 Green Team members, all Lawrence residents who reside here, who are part of our school systems?
Yes. So in order to be employed as a high school employee in the summer, you have to live within the Lawrence community. So we have students from Lawrence High, we have students from the Bulk, we have students from Notre Dame Cristo Rey. Where else? Christy is, she goes to the Essex Aggie right now, but she lives in Lawrence. And so we target Lawrence High School youth. And then with
for our green team. For our leaders, we want Lawrence residents. Sometimes we have to expand our search.
What are the qualifications that you're looking for the leaders, and have you had difficulty in terms of finding people here who are qualified and have the skill set to perform those duties?
So we employ, so in order to be a youth leader, you have to be 21 or older, and we've typically employed college students, or if you graduated from high school and are old enough and you did green team before, like I did, and you're looking for summer work, you are employed to work with Groundwork Lawrence's green team and serve them. I'm not sure if there's anything else to add.
It's a valid driver's license. So
Yeah.
there's a little stuff, but we're also looking for someone who's going to be able to coach and guide our youth and do it in a way that's professional and helps the youth develop.
Yeah. And it's definitely important that we hire young adults who can reflect the youth that we serve. And so I think that that's another thing that is really key to the people that we hire. And what else? I think that's about it, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'd like to just add that Christy is a senior, and she's also, I can say this, right?
Yeah.
You're going into the Army
Yeah.
National Guard this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and won't be with us this summer, but we're really proud of her.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely, it's sad because, I've been with them for the past 3 years since I came into the United States. So it's been, a whole experience and definitely impacted me as a person and just impacted my ideas about the environment and what I want to do in the future. So it's kind of sad that this is my last year, but I definitely look forward to more experience with them once I'm 21. Hopefully I'll come back as a green team leader and all that.
Do you see a lot of students cycle back into the program? So if you're coming in as a junior or a sophomore, you see them come back for a second and third year. Is that the objective of the program? And if so, why?
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of youth who start out in their freshman year and they choose to do every summer up to their senior year, and we've had them even bring in their friends and recruit them and have them join this program. And I think that what attracts a lot of these young people to the program is the outdoor exposure and awareness that we give them. We go camping, we go, my school year we went skiing, and a couple of youth got to go to Yellowstone National Park and work there for a couple of days. And so I think it's a very attractive program because it does expose a lot of youth to opportunities that I feel like not all of them have the opportunity to be exposed to.
Any other questions, Pam? Okay. Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Merrimack Valley Immigrant and Education Center.
There are some very impressive students here tonight. All right. Good. So I am Lori Mancinelli, and I am chairman of the board of the Merrimack Valley Immigrant and Education Center. And this is Deb Mangano. She's a fellow board member as well, and she's also the treasurer. We are here hoping that you're going to continue to fund our center, our English Communication for Employment class. It's a class that you've been funding for quite a few years for us, but we recently had a success story that I wanted to share with you with one of our students from last semester. This woman, I can say it. Her husband was diagnosed with cancer, and she had never worked before, and she had 2 small children at home, and she very quickly became the breadwinner in the family, and she had very limited skills in the workplace. She came to our center, she took our class, and we helped her build her confidence. And as a result of the confidence, we helped her build her resume, we helped her search for a job, we helped her find a job. We practiced interviewing skills with her. We built her up so that she could actually go out and interview. And she did secure a part-time job, and she is now helping to support her family and we hope to work with her to expand her skills so that she can go to the next level. It's just such a great story, and she's just such a great lady that it's just amazing that you guys, that's what you're helping to fund. Our stories like that. Helping people is not new to us. We have actually been around for 32 years. We have numerous other programs at our small center. This is one of our key programs. We have English as a second language. We have many classes. But we feel that this class is most important because it helps people apply the knowledge that they learned in English as a second language to the actual workplace and learn how to interact in the workplace. So it's not just teaching you how to apply for a job, how to build a resume, finding your skill set. It's teaching you all the communication skills that you need to make a success of the workplace. How to play nice with others, how to listen, how to, get by in the workplace. Lawrence in particular has double-digit unemployment that's double the state average, and we feel that now more than ever we need to get people comfortable in the workplace. Jeff, do you have anything to add?
Yep, just that we would supplement the funds from the CDBG with local grantors, the Saab Trust, Rogers Family, Stevens, Ash Trust, and the Charlotte Home. And we also expect to get lots of referrals from many other departments in Lawrence, including Notre Dame Education Center, the Quintana Family Center, the Family Resource Center, Lazarus House, and the YWCA.
We are 100% grant funded. We get by on donations and grants.
Good evening. The question that I have is, you help the applicants to be prepared for interview. They need to know English, to learn English, or how do you work that?
So we have two different class levels, depending upon how well you could speak English. So we interview you first to see which class you're in. So there's one class for really based on how well you can speak. And so we teach them, a lot of it starts with trying to find out what their goals are, what their skill set is, what is it that they're trying to do or what they'd like to do. So a lot of it is trying to feel them out a little bit as to where they want to progress. Does that answer your question? Or?
Yeah, let's say that I go and apply to your organization, and you have to interview me in order for you to know what I need first.
Yes.
Instead of to go to the second step.
Exactly.
Yes, you did answer my question.
Yeah. So we do have the two different levels, but you do, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Do you ever partner with any employers once they are placed?
It's funny you would say that. We haven't partnered yet. It's something that we've been wanting to get into. We have talked to some local businesses about actually having a teacher in their workplace. Somebody approached us just recently. It's very new. It's just something we're exploring about sending 15 of his employees, his cost, to take our class. And then that just got into a discussion of, well, rather than send him to the center, we were trying to figure out hours when he could do it. Maybe if we had the money, we could, get a teacher to actually go to his place of business in Lawrence, and that would be even better. So it's great that you would ask that, because that just happened to us recently, and it's an avenue now that I think that we're going to explore more, because I think that there's a need for that. A lot of people get it into the workplace, but then they end up failing because you need to continue. Education has to continue, and education is something that we strongly believe you have to continue your education. And so that is the logical next step, and one that we're just starting to look into now.
I know that the United Way has a program where they're working with employers to support their employees. So they're not only working with students to learn the language, but they're also working with the employers to learn as well.
Yeah.
And to better communicate.
It's a group effort. It has from both sides. It has to be, the community has to go into the corporation. That's what you have to do. You have to get the corporation thinking like a community.
Yeah, so maybe maybe that's something you can look into, the United Way.
Yeah. We,
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for being here today. I was wondering if you are involved with the Department of Education in any shape or form?
No. I don't believe we're working with the Department of Education.
And so where are you getting your curriculum from?
That's a great question, and one I wish I could answer for you. I don't know the answer to that. I know that the teachers, the staff, unfortunately the executive director who was supposed to be here tonight and couldn't answer that question has a sick grandchild that she had to take care of and couldn't make it. I know that we file all the paperwork that we're supposed to file with the Department of Education, and that's about all I can tell you, from an accreditation standpoint.
Thank you. No, thank you for that. And here it says you have a capacity of 35 students, and I was wondering if that's throughout the whole year or per cycle?
No, we actually can do 35 per class, and we have the 2 different classes. We do 2 in the fall and 2 in the winter. We can do up to 35 students in each class, and there's 2 different levels.
One second, please. I would like to ask for a point of clarification. In the application, it says your anticipated class size is 8 to 10 participants with a total of capacity of 35 students. If you could offer some clarification on that, please.
Okay, it is Dargo. So, the notes
I think
that
it is 35.
is it 35?
It's the total. Yeah, Karen worked on those numbers, and that was her.
Okay, so the grant was submitted by our Assistant Executive Director, Karen.
You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Well, we're pinch hitting spur of the moment because of something that happened, so.
Yeah, but it is a total of 35.
Total of 35 per session?
Per session for the 2 levels.
For the 2 levels per session, because here it says you're offering 2 different sessions. That's
There
what
is
I'm trying to
there is a
clarify.
fall
One in
and
the
then
fall and one in the winter.
In the midwinter.
So in the fall you have 35, a capacity of 35,
Well,
and
if
in the
it
winter?
said 8 to 10 per class,
Yes.
so say there would be 8 times 4 would be 32. I think it's 35 total for both sessions.
Yeah, that would make sense.
8 to 10 per.
Yeah, 8
Yes.
to 10 per.
Thank you for being here. My question is, you have approximately 35 total students that are going through the course. The objective of the course is to assist in finding employment, improving families' quality of life, long-run financial stability, education. Are you tracking that? Are you able to say, out of the 30 or 25 students that have come through our program, we've been able to measure that 5 out of those 20 students have been able to acquire higher paid jobs and moved up in the ladder in their employment, etc., beyond the one story that you mentioned at the beginning of your presentation?
I can't answer that, but I don't know if you know the answer to that.
I honestly don't know
Yeah,
the
I
answer.
don't.
I asked for some specifics, and she did give me that one story. I don't know how many of the 35, say, would then become a success story. That is certainly something we could find out.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next applicant is International Institute of Greater Lawrence.
Good evening. My name is Tony Williams, and I am the ESOL Program Coordinator at the International Institute of Greater Lawrence. I've been part of the Institute for about 13 years, 2 of them as an ESOL student, and about 11 as a staff member. So I know for a fact that being able to take ESOL classes work. The International Institute currently runs Massachusetts EC Adult and Community Learning Services ESOL program. Our current services include Adult ESOL and Immigration Documentation Services. We offer a combination of 11 ESOL classes in both morning and evening sessions. We serve 116 students right now. We are requesting more funds so we can add 2 additional classes intended to serve at least 40 low moderate income Lawrence residents in need of services. Like I said, this is going to be an expansion to our current program. The ESOL services will be provided for 6 hours per week for 28 weeks per class, starting in September 2020 and ending in June 2021. The need for ESOL classes is huge in Lawrence. Like so far, from February 2019 till this February, we have about 230 applicants. And we are just trying to get more classes in place so we can help those applicants. Mainly they are beginners, like 60% of applicants are beginners, and we have intermediate, but low applicants are advanced. Thank you. If you have any question?
We do.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for providing that service to the community. May I please ask, out of those 230 applicants, how many have you serviced? So you said from February to this February, you had 230 applicants?
They are new applicants, actually. And actually, after you apply, usually they wait for a year to get into classes. We serve prior applicants. That's only like the data we have for this year. Like if they're like intermediate, advanced, I can say like for those 230 applicants, we have served like so far, probably 8.
So what are your class size numbers?
The class size, 15 to 16 students.
And is this throughout the whole year?
The school year we serve, like we start in September and we end, May or June, depending on the snow days.
And what levels?
We have 3 levels of ESOL. We have beginners, intermediate, and advanced.
Any association with the Department of Ed?
Yes. We actually, our main funding is from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, our next presenter is Notre Dame Education Center, Lawrence.
Hi, good evening. So my name is Cynthia Faulkner. I am, since August, the Executive Director at Notre Dame Education Center. Very happy to be there. So a little bit about us. Notre Dame was founded in 1996, but the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur have been in service to this city for over 160 years. So we're just kind of continuing that great legacy of service to this city in particular. We are a 501c3 organization. We're not religiously affiliated, but we do follow the mission of being welcoming, of showing dignity to everyone who comes through our doors, and focus on education, knowing that there is power in that. So at Notre Dame Education Center, we offer primarily English classes. We offer 5 levels of English classes in the mornings, 3 in the afternoon, and 4 in the evenings, for a total of 16 English classes. Along with that, we also offer citizenship classes, and we offer nurse aid training programs. All of our students have access to an education and career advisor who helps them identify what their goals are when they start with us, and where they want to go when they leave with us. And they also have access to a computer lab where they do extra work with Rosetta Stone, as well as applied math because math is such a sticking point for many people, we allow them to use our Key Train program. And if they do well enough, they can take the Work Keys certification. That is primarily what we do. Any questions?
funding, the amount that you're requesting is pretty much the entire, or close to it, amount that you need to fund the entire program. And so that concerns me a little bit. If we were not able to fund the program at your full request, does that mean the program won't take place?
Sorry, so let me clarify. So what we are asking for the CDBG funding is for one of our evening classes, our level 2, which has been funded up to now, and we would welcome continued support. We are actually funded through mainly funded through the Department of Education, as well as through grants through the Sisters of Notre Dame, some private pay, and donations.
Okay, so this is just that one.
That's for that one course.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying.
Sure thing.
Okay, I guess we're all set. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Our next presenter is the Greater Lawrence Community Voting Program.
I'm all set. I want to thank the committee for having me here tonight. This is the 41st year of going into the summer program for the Greater Lawrence Community Voting Program. And what I just thought about is crazy to me. This is my 10th presentation to this committee for the last 10 years, so the time flies. But I really appreciate it and all the work that you guys do. I would like to, as always, I like to bring visual things. So we're going to start with our packet. You can take your binder, clip right off. It's a lot easier to go through the pictures that way. The boating program offers a very unique perspective of the city of Lawrence, along with the great activities that we provide the kids. So you just take this first picture. The kids are out on the water in boat having fun, and then you see the different vision of Lawrence that you get if you look into the background. The kids, unless they come to the boathouse, they don't see that skyline of Lawrence often. So I think that's great. So this is to kick it off for the kids saying hi. If we go to the second picture, when the kids come down to the boathouse, you see the kids in the canoe. That's our staff. Every child that comes to the boathouse gets an orientation. That orientation is in safety. Safety is number one. It's a water-based program. In fact, we do the ice and water safety shows throughout the entire winter, targeting all the schools to make sure we educate our children on safety. So the kids come in, they go through that. We're going to go to the next picture, and that's just organized chaos on the docking system. This is what it looks like when the kids come down to get ready for their swim test. So they got to come down, do the swim test, and this is just one day. So in the first week, maybe into the second week, you have this many kids that are lining up to take their swim tests. The next picture is the one with the red and the blue umbrella. One of the biggest goals that I do for the kids is letting them know that the boathouse is theirs. They should be getting things that other children in other communities get. Manchester by the Sea, the Gloucester, Rockport, Nahant, Swampscott, Salem. This is their yacht club. This is the place for them to come and experience those things. So these are the kids sitting down and eating their lunch, which brings me to the next picture of lunch, which is just the stack of bags against the window. That's almost every day. If you see one of our servers in the yellow shirt, you can see the white boxes in her hand. Think about how many white boxes fill those up. So roughly on this day, that's approximately 450 to 500 lunches. If we go into the next one, it's going to be the class. I wanted to show you what the kids do with the grant money that we have asked for. Yes, we target 30 kids specifically to go through classes. However, it helps, the block grant funds are going to help hundreds further because we use it for staffing. And in this class, Elias is the child in the red shirt, and he is CITing to become an instructor. So this is how the classes look. If we go to the next one, it's not just boating programs. You have arts and crafts. Thank you, guys. I know.
It's nice to see you again this year.
Thank you.
I would like to know how many students you serviced that were not through a partnership.
So, our overall attendance for the entire summer last year was 3,674 individual kids. Of that, from the City of Lawrence under scholarship was 2,450.
Every day?
497 kids a day average, Monday through Friday. Weekend average is a little lower. That's a lot of family time. Some families will come in, but it's a much lower average on the weekends.
And one of the things that I would like to ask you is what percentage of these students that you service are special needs? Perhaps might be on the spectrum, use any handicap accessible. Do you have any of those things available for those type of students, that population?
Yes, we do a lot of work. We work with class, we work with American Training, and then we have private families who come down. Right now, what I have listed is disability. We had 13 this past summer. It's less than 1%, but that's less than 1% that is reporting. I have other families that don't report, and they come down. And our main goal at the Boathouse is to be all-inclusive to anybody, anywhere, at any time, as long as it fits into safety. And that's our goal. If it's safe, we will do it. If it's not safe, we will not do it. Huh?
I want to see pictures of that next
Okay, yep. Actually, can I say one more thing on that?
Yeah.
So, we have a science program, and regretfully, there was a big storm last year and our science boat went down. What's on the bright side, we're going to get a replacement boat. It's going to end up being a pontoon boat with an engine, and what this enables us to do is to buy a aluminum wheelchair ramp. And that would go to the beach instead of the docking system to make it more comfortable to a child in a wheelchair, because we have, during Summerfest, we have events where people come down in wheelchairs, and it's harder to get people into a boat like that, and you don't want anybody to feel unsafe. So with this moving forward, it is very sad that we lost something, but it is being replaced, and when it gets replaced, which we're working on right now and will be replaced for this year, we can go ahead and purchase that aluminum ramp on a pontoon boat because it opens in the front, bring it into the beach, and now we have full wheelchair access instead of help wheelchair access by bringing people down to the docking system, then moving them to the boat.
Hello.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask a quick question and then just make a comment. So do you have a way of tracking the students that you touch for the very first time who have never been out to the boating community, and actually after that experience keep returning? Or
Yes, so our return rate is extremely high. So we have we call it the first license boating. So every child that comes into the program, we have a membership card that they get, and they go to the front counter, they take a picture of that membership card, then they can check in and out of the system. So we track the children that check in and out of the system with their starting date and then their year to year. Our retention for kids right now is higher than 80%, which is huge. I used to think you'd want to try to retain 70 to 75. This has just brought our expectations up. A lot of the kids return, especially the older kids, because we have a CIT program, Counselor in Training, which is how they can get a job in the summer. So the Boathouse is here. It was all started and predicated on the kids of the City of Lawrence, giving them something. But we do serve the Merrimack Valley in general as a whole. So what we do is we always start with our kids, with the kids of the city. We target them with the CIT programs. We train them, so first aid, CPR, AED, powerboat training, and then becoming an instructor and going through those classes. So the picture of the young one, Elias, that's in the picture, that's exactly what he's doing. So he's been in the program. I want to say he right now is 13 going on 14. He's been in the program since he was 9 years old, and he comes back every single year. And the goal at the end of this is to use the we're always preaching education as advancement. Educate yourself, make yourself more valuable to any organization that you come across. So that's what he's doing. He's educating himself, he's teaching during classes, and when he is old enough, if you're watching this video, Elias, I'm gonna hire you, so.
That's wonderful, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
I wanted to thank you for also having sat on the other side. I had the opportunity to partner with you to bring students to your boating program a few summers in a row, and it was really a great opportunity and experience for them, and so thank you for that.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Do you guys think that I could take back 3 of the 6 booklets and then the committee can keep the rest for reference?
Okay, Lawrence History Center is next, and you knew that.
Was it? Okay. Good evening. My name is Susan Grabsky, and I'm the Executive Director of the Lawrence History Center. We're located at 6 Essex Street in Lawrence, and I'd like to thank you all for your time and also for your consideration of our proposal. We're deeply grateful for past funding and support through the CDBG program. It's helped us immensely with the historic preservation of our home in the former Essex Company headquarters, which is a property listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and our home since 1992. We happen to own the property outright, and so any investments that we make help improve the property and the sustainability of our organization going forward. In this fiscal year 2021 grant round, we're seeking a $10,000 investment for the continued historic preservation of structures within the Essex Company courtyard, focusing on the sheds, exterior windows, and the perimeter wall. The History Center is located at the corner of Essex and Union Street, which is really the first thing that one sees as they enter the downtown core to either shop or conduct business. So the condition and the maintenance of the buildings is very important in contributing also to the economic development in the city as well. As you can see in the photos, there's a need for us to address the integrity of the brick perimeter wall that surrounds the complex, and there's also a need to restore and paint the exterior sheds, window frames, and structures in the Essex Company courtyard, which are also visible from the street. The second page of the pictures, it shows really the deterioration of the wall, missing bricks, cracks, and then the painting on the third floor is greatly in need on those structures. Based on early estimates, total cost of this project is roughly $42,500. We have begun seeking funds from other sources. We've been awarded a grant through the LRA Local Lift grant program, facade improvement program of $5,000 that we've matched, actually exceeding their one-to-one requirement, matching it with $7,500. We have been asked to submit a full application to the 1772 Foundation Matching Historic Preservation Grant Program via Preservation Massachusetts for another $10,000 to carry out some of that needed restoration and painting work in the complex. We also have plans to apply to the Methuen Festival of Trees, which we've been funded through once before their preservation grant program for an additional $10,000 in historic preservation work. An award of $10,000 from CDBG grant program will help us leverage additional funds from those sources, but also others to be sought.
Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Very well.
I want to know, how did the project from last year, how did it turn out, the elevator?
So last year you graciously awarded us $10,000 and the project is underway. We're working with it. We raised all the money, the $110,000 that we needed to raise, and we're working with a local contractor. The drawings have been done and they're just fabricating the new equipment. So
And so when do you project that that will be completed?
by, I think, May 30th is what we're hoping to meet all the grant requirements.
Thank you for sharing that. I really wanted to know, out of all these pictures that you have given us, my interest is in the inside where the sheds are, due to the fact that you do host some summer programs for the Lawrence youth.
We do.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, and if you think that projected, first of all, is this projected for this year to start this renovation, or is it for next year?
With funds in hand, we will start as early as weather will permit in the spring, and then after July 1, CDBG money, if awarded, would be used to continue the program. Specifically related to our summer program, the summer classroom is in the stable, and don't think I have a picture of that right there, but we do serve 50 Lawrence youth, middle schoolers, and then writing leaders, also Lawrence youth, for 3 weeks, about 30 hours a week in July. And so they're all over the courtyard. They really own the place for 3 weeks and do an open house on the last day with the community and parents and guardians invited in, and they lead the tours and would have great pride in seeing this work
No, yes,
done.
that's why I'm asking, because I'm very proud of the work and the partnership that you have formed with that program and what you have contributed to the community. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to voice that so that everyone is aware of the magnificent work that goes on there.
Oh, great, thank you. And the partnership is with Andover Bread Loaf and the Boys and Girls Club Slice program. We're Rising Loaves there, big bread loaf, you know.
Thank you for sharing that. In addition to that summer program where we have some of our youth attending, do you have an approximate estimation as to how many community events you're hosting or co-hosting with other partners throughout the city on a yearly basis?
On a yearly basis, the summer program is the one that we partner mostly with. Every other year we do academic symposiums, and we have one slated for April 2021. This upcoming topic is on public safety, a theme that was decided through our long-range planning process long before the Merrimack Valley gas explosions. It was come to based on the strength of our collections and relevance to the community. But prior symposiums have been on Bread and Roses strike, public health, urban renewal, and new immigration, post-World War II immigration. And so the partners that they're local partners, they're state funding through Mass Humanities. We bring roughly 170 or so people from as many as 26 states and 3 foreign countries come into the city. And then, of course, attendees from within the city, which is always the focus for us. We get about 1,500 or so people through our doors at 6 Essex Street every year. We answer over 250 research questions locally and really as far as, all over the world, because Lawrence is such a vital part of local, regional, national, and international history on every subject matter, as many of you know. So,
Great, thank you.
okay.
Any other questions, Caleb? Okay, thank you. Okay, next up we have Lawrence Community Works ESOL class.
Hello. My name is Olivia Rosa, and I'm a Resource Development Specialist for Lawrence Community Works.
And I'm here to talk about, I'm here to request funding in support of our ESOL programming at Lawrence Community Works. Since 2003, we've held 2 different levels of ESOL. The beginner classes are focused more for students that have little to no English language skills. And it's focused on more communicational skills to help them in their daily life, like communicating with their doctor or their children's schools and those sorts of things. And then our intermediate level ESOL class is more focused on workforce development skills. We actually even incorporate resume writing, interviewing skills, and we provide referrals to Uncommon Goods for our students to be able to get attires for interviews. We also tailor our class schedules so that it accommodates the needs of our community. So we hold our classes in the evenings, and we provide free childcare for all our students to be able to attend, and our classes are completely free of charge.
You don't charge for your classes?
No.
Oh, because it says you have to charge $100 for ESOL classes, and a sliding scale fee is available to those who face financial hardship. Is that?
That might be a mistake. We don't charge for them.
Do you have a waiting list for your program? For ESOL?
I don't have an answer for that, do we?
I think there's always a waiting list, yeah. The demand is just so high, like the other ESOL programs mentioned.
Yeah,
If we
that's why
can't
I'm
serve them,
curious.
we try to, because we're part of the ESOL task force, if we can't serve them, we try to refer them to some of the other
So
agencies.
you all do collaborate through that task force?
Yeah, absolutely, yep.
But it sounds like all of you have some type of waiting list.
Yeah, the need is
Yeah.
definitely higher than the supply right now.
There is a huge demand for the ESOL classes since you're required to have a level of ESOL to be able to access other resources in the community. So it's definitely, there's a great need for that.
And how many levels did you say you have for the ESOL?
So we have the beginner and intermediate. The beginner is 0 to 3 SPL, the student performance levels, and then the 4 through 6 SPL, which is the more intermediate to advanced levels. We are actually in the process of dividing up the levels to better tailor the curriculum for each one of the levels that we have, because there's such a big difference in between them, and we see such an improvement in the students when they take courses.
And then the workforce development program that you have, do you work with that simultaneously while they're in the ESOL, or is that comes after?
So it is a part of the curriculum. We do do the focus on the ESOL classes, but we also incorporate the resume writing, the interviewing skills, and then we oftentimes our students go through the ESOL program and end up going into one of our workforce development programs that will help them to continue improving their English language skills, but also get training in a particular employment field.
Thank you.
Are you partnered with DESE?
Not around ESOL, no.
I'm very familiar with the program. Yeah, I know this program for a long time, and how many students, I'm very impressed for your students when they have the program over there at Northern Community Work. How many of them go to community college? That's the thing I want to know. Because before, when I was there, I want to see the program, everything like that, so everybody happy to continue. So right now, how many of your students go to community college?
I don't know that we have that number, but we're just development staff. Unfortunately, we're not program staff. I do know that our staff do a good job of keeping in touch with previous students, and even one of our program staff at LCW was a previous ESOL participant who went on to NECO, finished her ESOL classes at NECO and then started working for us. So I don't know the number offhand, but I would think it's probably a good amount, just because the desire is so big for people to continue learning.
And because of the asset building side of our programming, that we provide the whole holistic services where people who go through our ESOL programs and would like to enter into a program where they can save up for college or for like upper education, they would be able to access those programs through by being a member of Lawrence Community Works as well.
I want to see that. I want to hear that from that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make a comment that it's probably good from a development perspective to have those numbers so that when you're applying for funding in general, to know what your outcomes and measurements are for that.
How big are your classes? I know that you have you offer the 2 ESOL classes, but how big is the cohort? Is it 20 students per class?
So for the year, I can tell you for last year, for the total of completed students who completed the beginner level was 56, I believe, and then for the advanced level was somewhere around 40 something. I don't have the exact numbers in my head, but it's an average of 100. We have an average of 70% completion rate. A lot of students they're not able to complete the program is because of work scheduling conflicts oftentimes. And we do have an average of 75% of our students increase at least 2 SBL levels.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My next presenter is Lawrence Community Works, Movement City.
Up again. Hi everyone, thank you all for your time and consideration. So I'm Lauren Klingler, I'm the Director of Resource Development. Olivia and I work together. Unfortunately, our Program Director for Movement City couldn't be here tonight. I wish she could be. In previous years, you guys might have remembered Jessica Filione. She was the Program Director for about 5 years. She passed the baton on in May to Elvis. And he's doing amazing, he's doing a great job, and the great thing I wanted to share about Elvis is that he's actually an alum of Movement City. He went through the program as a youth member, came to work for us in 2017, and is now running the program and doing an excellent job at that. So Movement City in general is our youth program within LCW, and so we serve Lawrence youth ages 10 to 18. The goal of the program is really to inspire youth to be creative, curious, well-rounded and active members of their community so they can go on to be leaders in their community. So we have a summer program and an after-school program. The after-school program is currently in session. We have 94 members currently enrolled, which is actually a record for us at this time of year. And we actually have a waiting list as well for the first time. Of those members, 62 are at the stations level, which is ages 10 to 14. And then 32 are at the zones level, which is high school age, 15 to 18. And we currently have a 72% active participation rate, which is an increase from the end of last year. It was about 63%. So we went up, and active participation means they're coming at least once a week and actively participating in academic support as well as the creative workshops that we offer. So the after-school program runs from 3 to 7:30, Tuesday through Friday. They do an hour of homework time and academic support, and then they go on to their creative workshops. So this year we are offering the Computer Clubhouse, which is part of the International Clubhouse Network. They do 3D printing, scratch coding, graphic design, all sorts of stuff computer-based. Music production, which is one of the most popular workshops right now. We have kids who write, perform, produce their own raps, songs, dance performances, and then we also have just an arts, like fine arts base, so they're drawing, painting, doing collage and mixed media arts. And then we also do a bunch of monthly and quarterly events. So we have monthly open mics on the first Friday of every month, and then we have quarterly showcases. So after their 7-week workshop session is over, they do a showcase that's open to the community. Friends, family, siblings, everyone comes, and the kids put on a full performance. And the great thing about the showcases is it's an opportunity for all of the youth, whether they're at the stations level, the zones age,
cross workshops, they're collaborating together to come up with like the theme for the showcase. So the one over the summer was all about emotions and the emotions they were feeling as teenagers. The December one was called Bodega Chronicles, and it was all about the bodegas in Lawrence. And yeah, that's it for now.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here tonight. I was wondering if you had any information how many of the students from zones are affiliated or have some development towards their college education or any training. Do you have data on those type of things? Like
I do, yeah. So one thing we're really proud of is for, I think, the last 5 to 6 program years, 100% of Movement City seniors have graduated. 100% of Movement City members have either graduated or been promoted to the next grade. Right now, Gabriella, who's our academic support coordinator, is working with about 12 of the high school seniors, working on college applications, resumes, college essays, financial aid packages, all of those things. And Elvis just told us last week that 3 have already been accepted through early admission to college. So yeah, we don't have a ton of seniors, but the ones that we do get a lot of support.
Thank you.
That's interesting. I'd love to hear next year of those students. I mean, 100% movement rate into the next grade level of graduation, but are they coming from like Abbott Academy, right? Like, where are they coming from in our public schools? Are we really targeting like high-performing students? Or we kind of, it takes more work and it's easier said than done, so I'm saying this objectively, to kind of target those students who aren't high performers and who aren't getting the best grades to really kind of be able to have access to these enrichment programs. And then my next question is, I noticed that, it's about a $472,000 budget. I've only heard great things about the work you guys do, but $318,000 of that is for personnel. Like, how much staff is overseeing this work as compared to $31,000 for program expenses?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the first part, I would say the academic levels of the students is very diverse and mixed. I know that we currently have relationships with 6 different Lawrence public schools, the Partham, Oliver Partnership, Up Academy, Leonard, the SES, and Lawrence High. So I think it's a broad range. Movement City is also now a approved site through LHS for kids to make up homework, and Gabriella has some sort of program that she logs into that she can track that for them. So I think there's some kids that need a lot of support and some that kind of just are doing well. And then on the budget side, we employ 4 full-time core staff. So that's the program director, Elvis, academic support coordinator, performance coordinator, and then the clubhouse coordinator. And then all of the creative workshops are taught by part-time creative workshop instructors. So I think that now is about up to 10 or 11 of those. They're only working part-time, but it does certainly add up. Yeah.
Super helpful.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is, do you offer STEM programming?
We do, yeah. So it has ebbed and flowed based on the availability of volunteers that we have that are kind of in that field. The Computer Clubhouse is very STEM-oriented, but more recently we started doing robotics workshops with actual local robotics. They're in the tech field, but they're all Lawrence High grads that have just kind of wanted to get involved and teach kids more about like building circuits and I don't know, all of the robotics language, and that's held on Saturdays throughout the year. Kind of, it's not every Saturday, but it's periodically throughout the year.
Okay.
So we do offer some, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, our next presenter is Centro de Apoyo Familiar.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Sunila Frias, and I'm here with Tamadis Frias to represent Centro de Apoyo Familiar. The name of our program is Nueva Esperanza, New Hope, and it is the goal of our program to provide basic educational training tools to help elderly Hispanic residents learn English as their second language and to provide emotional and social support activities and workshops to better their quality of life. So some of the activities that we do with the elderly are arts and crafts. They also have the ability to share their history and experiences here in Lawrence. We do also provide field trips, holiday celebrations such as Mother and Father's Day, as well as Valentine's Day, exercises and games, ESL classes that specifically target, that are specifically relevant to their medical providers as well as the people around them. And we also provide a bridge for them to interact and be able to speak with their local government leaders. So the program is held once a week at the Essex Towers, meeting on Fridays for about 2 hours from 10 a.m. to noon. We serve over 50 Lawrence seniors. However, different activities bring more people. And this year, it is our intention to expand the program to serve more elderly residents living in low-income senior living facilities in Lawrence. However, these locations are to be determined. Thank you.
Good evening. So instead of last year, is anything new that you adding to this program this time? I know that last year I asked the same question, if you're going to be increasing the hours or at least another day of the week.
Yeah, just we haven't been able to provide any more days or hours because of the budget that we have. But this year we are proposing to expand the program to offer that in another facility if possible.
Which was my last question last year.
Yeah.
If you were going to go to another center, it's not only in Franklin Street, but I heard that you tried to expand the program this year.
Yeah, we would like to see if we can go to another elderly facility like the one in Arlington. In the past, I used to do this program for like 18 years. We started at Family Services, and when I was doing that program over there, we had another one at the Arlington housing facility. So that might be one of the places that we might expand the program or maybe another location. The thing about this program is like the only funding that we have so far is the CDBG funding. And besides the ESL classes that we do and the workshops and the activities that we provide, we have to provide the food. We have to look for volunteers because it's only like one staff or two that we are able to be part of the project. So that's one of the limitations that we have and the challenges that doesn't allow us to do more hours or to do more than what we would like to do.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight. I was wondering, I see that you have a hefty load of the money that you're requesting as far as staff salary. Do you have any volunteers?
We do have volunteers. And one of the reasons why we're asking for more funding for staff is because if we're gonna expand the program, we're gonna have to hire another person, like to be a part-time, to be doing that project for the 2 locations that we're planning to have. We have volunteers, like usually I have a facilitator that helped me to be a volunteer. We have my kids volunteer, and we also have people from the churches that they volunteer, but they, it's not like a volunteer that we have the facilitator as someone that comes every Friday, but we don't have the other volunteers available to be there every time. So
yes, it is very tricky to work with volunteers, and I just want you to keep in mind, I have to ask these questions, but I am very proud of the work that you're doing here. It's just that it's unfortunate that the same thing was said last year as far as your goals, and they have not been met. And we're here to help you. So if there's anything that you need or any guidance from the Community Development Office, then you need to reach out to us, because this is something that is very needed. I have a strong heart for seniors in the city of Lawrence, and I think that in order for you to succeed, you might need some help, right? So let's reach out and get that help, because I think it's a wonderful project to replicate. So that's why the pressure is being put on you, because it's something beautiful that is very needed on the city.
Thank you. And when it comes to the goals that you mentioned that we didn't met, like last year we got less funding, so we, even with that funding, we continue doing what we did, so it was more difficult to kind of do more. We kind of keep up doing what we were doing from our part with half of the funding that we usually get. So it's not like I understand your part, and I also want people to understand our challenges. We want to do more, but it's like me, you know, and then someone else to help, and I wish that we could have more resources, I guess. And we do reach out to some people from the community, like we thank to some of the counselors that they help, and some people from the churches that they also provide support. But we've been knocking a lot of doors, and it's hard to find, you know, people that can invest in what we're looking for. Like
Thank you for that point of clarification. That was
Yes.
very important that you mentioned that the funding was not as expected.
Right.
And I could definitely see why that would be as a result of that. So thank you so much for allowing us to have those questions.
Thank you.
Just to kind of follow up, I understand the restrictions in terms of funding in order to make this grow and be more sustainable. But again, I want to touch back on the point of you're serving one elderly building in this city. There are multiple more, right? You have on Essex Street, you have some on South Union, I mean, there's so many, and I don't think it's a big lift to not just visit the Essex Towers, right? Because you're visiting them throughout the year. Go to the Essex Towers and visit another elderly location and provide the same service instead of just staying in one place. I don't see that as being a heavy lift. I think it just takes more strategizing and initiative, and it ensures that you're serving people equally across the city of Lawrence, because I do believe this is very important. In my campaign time, I would knock on doors and I'd meet the elderly people weeks without seeing someone or getting a call, depressed. I mean, so many needs, so I believe that there's incredible value in the work you're doing, but you know, I think there is still a way today to have funds and ensure that you're not just serving the Essex Towers, because this need exists everywhere else. So just food for thought, and yeah, you know, there are people here that are willing to kind of provide additional support and kind of brainstorming behind what else you could do to ensure that this, the objective should be that it grows and it becomes sustainable. So what other funding should you be considering beyond CBDG money that will help your organization grow and deliver this really valuable service?
And to put a third on it. This is the only application in this entire book that's geared towards helping the elderly. They're very underserved. I'd encourage you ladies and listen to these two experienced ladies, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. And I just, another question. I just want to answer to her question related to doing more. Like, I love elders. Like, when I started this group, it was in 2001. And I remember it was a grandmother of my friend. I called her and she said, I'm alone here in this building. So I asked my boss if we could start like a group for the elderly. And that's how we started. And I would love to do more. Like, from our organization, the funding, like I mentioned, we only get is the CDBG. We cannot provide food with that funding, but we donate the food every week, you know. And it's, when you add it up, it's a lot. And they look forward to that meal every Friday. So it might look like easy, but it is, you know, it is a lot more than what we would like to provide. But I thank you that you are willing to support and to also, you know, be a resource so we can expand it. Thank you.
And I just wanted to reiterate on, you know, seeking out support. But there's a program in Lawrence called Community Inroads. And one of the things that they do is they connect volunteer professionals that can help nonprofit organizations with volunteer services, such as grant writing. So if that's something that you don't have experience in or something that you don't have the time to do, then you can maybe work to see if they can match you with a potential volunteer. And that's a start.
That's great. Thank you.
So I just wanted to share that.
And just to add to that, there's state money. You have 2 representatives, 3 from this district. They're constantly giving money to nonprofits. I think you brought up an incredible point that a lot of our things are youth-driven and workforce-driven, but what are we doing for our elderly? And I think this is a really valuable presentation to some of our representatives in the city to know that we
guys are doing good work, and how can they leverage an earmark for whatever, $25,000 to give you guys added resources, and I'm happy to help you think about that.
We did that last year, we're gonna do it again this year, and hopefully we could get it, you know. But thank you for the resources, and I'm gonna reach out to that too, because that's what we need, you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And our final presentation of the evening is from Si Se Puede.
Good evening. My name is Giselle Perez. I'm the Executive Director of Si Se Puede. Si Se Puede is an after-school program which offers enrichment opportunities, and we also focus on the social-emotional development of the children. We primarily service the children in the Merrimack Court Housing Project, as well as people with attachments to the projects in the surrounding area. Our summer program is one that has been in operation for quite some time, and so the funds that we're seeking is to be able to continue to offer this academic enrichment opportunity to the kids, to provide them an opportunity to not only continue to receive literacy support services, math enhancement services that will allow them to be able to further develop the skill sets that they've learned at the school throughout the year, and also to further develop any, lapses that they may have, areas of deficits, while also promoting outside experiences within the city and outside of the city that gives them the opportunity to experience the things that they're learning in the classroom in an outside environment. These funds will help facilitate the hiring of 4 teens in the program. So the way that we work is that we not only provide the services to the youth between all school age, between the age of 7 and 18, but we also within the program provide mentoring opportunities for the kids as they're coming up, depending, and it's all based on strengths assessments, based on their level of maturity, based on their age, and based on the dynamics. One of the things that we are looking to do, that we have been already doing during the after-school program, is to separate the kids more by stages of development so that they're more able to engage in these opportunities in an age, with an age group that is more appropriate to them, so that they can focus more on themselves and not so much on others, since that is generally the case. It also makes for more manageable, supervision and oversight of kids that have, unfortunately, emotional and social adjustment issues. So last summer it was a wonderful experience. We partnered with Mass Hire, and we did benefit from 4 youth who were basically, their positions were actually funded through that particular program. And we, at the program, we also had 2 other youth that we employed. So there was 1 staff member to 3 kids, because in addition to all of that, we also had the youth mentors who were there volunteering their services and actually gaining leadership opportunities. One of the other things that we do that's really meaningful is not only giving them, these kids in all different age groups according to their stage of maturity, opportunities to grow and develop in leadership, but also the training opportunities, formal ones, through the Torch Foundation that we did at Clark University.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Can you please give us a number of the youth that you will be serving in the summertime?
So last year we serviced 47, a total of 47 youth. This year I don't want to be as aggressive, but no more than, I would say, 45, and that's assuming that we are able to benefit once again from the grants through Mass Hire that will allow us to hire an additional 4 teenage students.
So altogether you have 7 employees you're looking for to have
7 to 8. So in-house we have 3, and then there'll be an additional 4, plus we have other youth that are going to be training as program assistants. And those are the volunteers.
How many partnerships do you have throughout the summer? I heard the summer boat one, the Greater Lawrence Community Action Council.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about the field trips that you have?
So it's a 2-part question, I guess, so I'll go back to that. So last summer, we partnered with Beyond Soccer, also the YWCA for their use of their pool, the public library for use of space, and also the boathouse. As far as field trips are concerned, we actually took the kids to the Strawberry Bank Museum, which is a living museum in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Also took them out to Southwick Zoo, which is a petting zoo in Mendon. What else did we do? We took them out to the USS Constitution. And so all of the field trips that we try to do are always education-based to some degree. So we explore geography as a result of that. We explore landscape, and there are just so many different things that they actually enjoy, which is why I'm so looking forward to this year being able to do it in more compact groups, a little bit smaller, more age-specific, so that the overall day experience could be more tailored to their particular interests. Because that's another direction that we have moved to. Instead of just providing them with opportunities just because they're available and they're being offered, giving them a say in what it is that they want, taking a look at what their skill sets are and where it is that they can grow and what they can benefit from, and it's more of an open dialogue.
Very nice. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming tonight. I don't envy the board. You have some homework to do now, and we will reconvene Monday night at the Office of Planning and Development with your score sheets all filled out.